In case it's been driving you crazy that in the previous episode we didn't pick up that reward back there, well, today's the day we will finally pick up that reward. Hey everybody, remember to you, and welcome back to Let's Play Tomb Raider Legend. In the previous episode, we started off our explorations through the King Arthur Museum, and today's episode, we're going to be exploring the Tomb of Death.
Be careful, Lara.
Please, Alistair. This will take some concentration.
Yeah, pipe down, Alistair. Or I won't let you sit up front with me anymore.
Now, remember in my original Let's Play this game, I talked about how this was my favorite level in the game because of the dialogue. And while most of that still remains true, I'll be completely honest, I frequently change my mind over which level in this game is my favorite. I frequently go back and forth between Ghana, Kazakhstan, and England, and of course the next couple levels as well. I frequently go back and forth between those ones. The only ones I'd say would be consistently not my favorites would be Peru being my least favorite in the level. Not saying that that level's bad by any means, I'm just saying that all the other levels are much more interesting than that one. And I think Bolivia and Japan would probably be close to the bottom, but Japan is also one of those ones that some days I'll think it's like the most awesome level ever. So I frequently change my mind on what level is my favorite in this game.
I'm glad you made it down safely.
So am I.
That doesn't mean you don't have to be quiet anymore. Looks like there's oil seeping into the water table. Who knows how long it's been burning? I wonder if the architect's design deliberately took this into account.
There's your answer, Alistair.
You know you're gonna ruin your boots.
Not on the path I'll need to take.
Remember, children, fire covered pedestrians, those have the right of way. And that's the reason why. I swear I did not do that on purpose. Let's try that again, hopefully this time without fail. So, use the box to climb on top of the fire, and then you will be able to safely go on your path of destiny. And I'll be completely honest, it's very rare that I go through here without taking damage at all. I'm sure there's like some obvious strategy for going through here without taking any damage. I'm probably just too dumb to figure it out, even though I've played this game dozens of times over the course of like 10 years or whatever. So, yeah. Is this game really over 10 years old? Yeah, this game, I think this game came out in 2006, so yeah, this would be like 11 years old by the time this video comes out. Yay, I'm old! Alright then, so, use the box to go over here, so that we can climb up here. Nothing shall stand in our way. We are Lara Croft.
This looks like my garbage disposal. I hope you're not leaving through there, Lara. There must be a way to stop them up.
I certainly hope so.
Alright, so there is a silver reward in this room. If you were to use this box, you can destroy that right there. But I'm going to be saving that for a little bit later, because I want to demonstrate something kind of interesting associated with that reward, which I can't really talk about without spoiling the level. So, instead, we're going to move on our merry way through our path of glory, but just remember, that silver reward is there. You can pick it up right now, but I'm saving it for later. So what we want to do now is use this box to go destroy these garbage disposals, as Zip ever so sarcastically put it. Like, I really like Zip and Alistair. They're really fun side characters in this game, and I think that's a really strong point with the Tomb Raider Legend trilogy, is that their side characters are very, very strong and work off Laura's character very well. And that's something that I think the reboot games kind of lack, where I honestly can only really remember like 2 of the side characters in a Tomb Raider 2013! Let's try that again, hopefully this time without fail. So as I was saying, to be completely honest, aside from Laura and the main villain in Tomb Raider 2013, I can only really remember like 2 of the side characters off the top of my head. And that's kind of sad because that game has way more characters in that game than in... Oh my god! Oh my god. Are you kidding me? I can't get those boxes now! Wait. Yes! 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 Okay. Well, I guess it's a good time to point out the fact that those things have really weird physics, and they could be completely random as to whether or not they're going super slow, to the point where you can just walk right through them, or if they're going super fast to the point where being like 10 inches away from them will instantly obliterate your beautiful face. Alright, I guess that's what I get for criticizing Tomb Raider 2013 when one of my friends absolutely loves that game, even though the Tomb Raider Legend is much better. You know, if you're watching this, you know deep in your heart that this game is better than Tomb Raider 2013. I may be biased because I grew up with this game, but still.
You're long jumping that.
No, I'll have to make a path. But it might have been worth trying just to hear you lads squeal about it.
Alright, that was a bit of a weird camera angle, but now that we have both of these boxes, we can go through here and long jump! Yay! And then we can pull the Switch, not the Nintendo Switch, which I hope this game eventually gets ported over to someday, even though I highly doubt that'll happen because Crystal Dynamics doesn't love me anymore. But enough about that, because we're going to be moving on to a merry way through our path of glory.
Hey, Alistair, why don't you head on down there and stand on that platform? Why don't you go down and hold that door open?
That's one of my favorite things in dialogue throughout this entire game. Much like the levels themselves, I frequently go back and forth over what my favorite thing in dialogue is. It's easily between that or the part where Alistair is like, they were two bloody different swords! I love the dialogue in this game. I should probably have a counter for that. No, I can't do that because we're way too far in this game to start doing that.
You see that crate up on the shelf over there? You could use that on the pressure plate. It's not a crate, it's a coffin. Someone's revered ancestor is in there.
Use the grappling hook on these torches to pull the coffin over towards the pressure plate. And then we go over here. And what I'm really curious about is whether or not there's actually something rendered inside this coffin. Because there's a lot of... If Boundary Break has taught me anything, it's that there's a lot of really cool stuff loaded outside of the... where you normally be able to see them. So it's probably an empty shell, because it would make no sense to actually have something in there. But I'm really curious what would happen if you were to glitch the camera into there.
Final resting place, sir.
If we're through having fun, it's time to get back to business.
And this lighting effect is so pretty. This is such a pretty game. Ah, this game is so pretty. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to pull this underwater switch, not like the Nintendo underwater switch, which you can use online. Not online, underwater. Why did I mix up the words online and underwater? Those are completely different things. Unless you're SpongeBob or something. I don't know. Alright, so without further ado, let's go over here.
I'll take this time to adjust some travel arrangements I made. It shouldn't take too long. Coward. Don't worry, Laura. I've still got an eye out. Probably won't be able to hear each other too well when you're underwater, though.
There is a god.
Hey, I heard that.
And that's another one of my favorite pieces of dialogue in the game. I think that and the two that I mentioned earlier are my top 3 things of dialogue throughout this entire game. So yeah, this game has some very clever writing. I wouldn't say it's on the same lines of Earthbound, because Earthbound has some pretty legendary writing in that game, but this game is a very close second. So we go over here, continuously use our grappling hook on these torches, and then, unfortunately, we will not be able to use a grappling hook to just pick up the reward over there. I don't know why that's a thing, but we have to go over here and use physics to pull ourselves over there or something like that, and jump over here and pick up manually. Why can't I use technology to pick stuff up for me? That's something Majora's Mask did years before this game came out. Why can't we do that in this game? Alright, so next up is over there to the deep, dark abyss of Destiny. Why do I keep saying Destiny? I don't even like that game.
Hey, Alistair. Just missed a waterfall.
Will you look at that? Oh, this This is brilliant.
That is interesting.
I love the build-up towards this place. You go down the waterfall, and Zip makes a comment as usual, because, you know, they're funny characters and all. And you get a small glimpse of the camera before... You get a small glimpse of this building before the camera takes it away from you and you lose control of it while you're swimming underwater. And you hear this ominous noises in the background as you go towards it. And then just the reveal of this building. It's so beautiful. It's so awesome. It's very much like something that happens towards the end of Xenoblade Chronicles, which I can't talk about because that game is best played blind. But without further ado, let's go down here and climb this beautiful building. Unfortunately, it's not like Breath of the Wild, how you can just, like, Spider-Man your way up the building. And my chair's squeaking. So let's go over here and go this way. I will say this one thing right now. My Xbox 360 controller has been doing this thing where it disconnects frequently, and I just recently fixed it. I'm not entirely sure why this was a thing, but when the controller vibrated, I guess it loosened the batteries or whatever, and it just made it really difficult to play this game. So I eventually turned off the vibration on my controller, but it will disconnect whenever I would vibrate, so needless to say, trying to climb this building was kind of a pain in the butt. I'll just say that right now.
Signal's poor, Lara. What are we looking at?
We're looking at myth. Except it's real. They're all here. The Court of Camelot.
You're sure about this? King Arthur, who wast verily of ye loins of Uther Pendragon?
I've no doubt about the authenticity of this tomb, Alistair. Arthur was the 11th century figure that became legend. The once and future king was as real then as the air I'm breathing now.
I don't know, Lara.
Excalibur, the sword in stone. That's how it always goes, isn't it?
Pardon?
Swords in stones, Alistair. They're part of the monomyth. There wasn't just one Excalibur or one Merlin. We keep seeing swords and deises all over the world because they were everywhere.
So, you're saying that everywhere they went, they raised up kings, shaping the course of human destiny?
Well, it's a possibility.
Who? And what happened to them and their swords?
Perhaps they're in Avalon. It's as good a place as any. Except our Merlin was killed and our Excalibur was left in pieces in the hands of the locals.
So where's Avalon?
I don't know. On the other side of the looking glass, perhaps?
If you thought the outside of this place was beautiful, oh my god, the inside of this place is so pretty. This is such a pretty game. Oh my god. Now, a really cool detail that I like to bring up real quick is that's not the button I'm going to press. Is that if you look at the columns in this room, which button's it? Okay, this button. If you look at the columns in this room, might be a better angle if we go over here. You can see that Crystal Dynamics is written on the columns in this room. So that's a really neat little detail. If you don't know, Crystal Dynamics is the company that makes the Tomb Raider games.
It says Bedivere returned a fragment of Excalibur to Arthur after the other pieces were carried off by the knights.
Where did they go? To find Avalon, perhaps. The quest for the Holy Grail. Lancelot, Galahad, Percival, and Bors. Their tombs are empty.
It says this fragment was left with Arthur to help him leave this mausoleum when the time came. Perhaps it will help me instead.
So what you want to do is use the grappling hook to move the chandelier back and forth. You're going to need to be quick about this, but if you have skills like me, hopefully you'll be fine. Hopefully, if we could do this on the first try, that would be awesome.
Arthur Pendragon, King of the Britons. I wouldn't take Excalibur if I didn't need it so. I hope you can forgive me.
Mara, there's something going on up here. Alistair, you see that? See what? Oh, hell! It's a hit!
Zip!
Get off!
Alistair!
Clara!
Zip, what's happening?